Have you ever looked at the successful entrepreneurs and thought, wow, they make it look so easy? Have you ever wondered why your journey feels so overwhelmingly heavy while theirs appear effortless? The reality is this: building a business is harder than anyone warns you, much harder. Getting good at the skill you need to build that business is a mountain most people underestimate. What you see on the outside is the highlight reel, the polished content, the smiling victories, the stories told after the triumph. But what you don't see are the late nights, the quiet failures, the countless revisions, the embarrassing mistakes, the years of studies, the tears that never made it onto a single camera. People see the glory, not the grinding. They see the results, not the repetitions. And if no one has told you the truth before now, let me be the first. It's harder than you think. It's harder than they told you. It's harder than you imagined. And yet you are still here, which tells me something very important about you. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Leavona. Welcome to the Leavona Show. I have been creating and building successful businesses for over 25 years, and I am here to help you win. If you would like to learn from me, hit that subscribe button now so you can find me later when you need me. Now hear me clearly. If you are brand new, if you have not yet started, this next part is especially for you. You are about to step into a world where skill matters, discipline matters, and endurance is everything. You cannot coast your way into success here. You cannot wish your way into mastery. You will have to learn, study, practice, fail, adjust, and then go again. But the beautiful thing is this: you can do it. You are not disqualified. You are not too behind. You are not too inexperienced. Every great entrepreneur you admire started exactly where you are right now: uncertain, nervous, unskilled, and hungry. And if you stay teachable, stay humble, and stay willing to put in the work they don't show on social media, you will build the foundation you need, and I will guide you every step of the way. So we have talked about those who are just starting. Now let's talk about the people who are already in the game. I see you, I applaud you, because the people who have started in this arena understand something the rest of the world never will. This path demands more from you than you ever expected. It pushes you, breaks you, rebuilds you, and then asks for more. And still, you rise. You show up when you're tired. You learn when you're discouraged. You adjust when you feel defeated. You keep going even when your own fate feels smaller than a mustard seed. And that is exactly why I respect you. Now, let me shift the energy, because this is where everything turns. Here's the truth that changes everything. Yes, it's harder than you think, but it's worth more than you can imagine. The reward is not just the income, not just the freedom, not just the success. The reward is the person you become along the way. The reward is the strength you never knew you had. The reward is the confidence forged through failure, discipline, and persistence. The reward is the day you look back and say, if only you knew how strong you would become. I know what it's like to work for months and see nothing. I know what it's like to invest your heart into something that falls flat. I know what it's like to cry in the car, wipe your face, and walk into the meeting anyway. I also know what it's like when things finally start working, when momentum shows up, when faith meets reality, when your effort finally bears fruit. And let me tell you from lived experience, that moment makes every ounce of suffering worth it. Every single ounce. And here's a thought I want to leave with you. The journey is harder than you expected, but so is the strength God placed inside of you. Now, at this time, we will move into the freestyle portion of the video that I do each day. It is called the why factor. I believe it is important for us to remind ourselves why we do business. Let's be honest here. Things can get really hard at times for us entrepreneurs. There are times when we can question everything and really doubt ourselves and our mission. That is why we need to recall why we went into business in the first place. That is how we stay grounded and keep moving. Listen, life is precious, so we have to cherish it. So let's take some time now to reflect on these things. Why did we go into business, friends? My dear family, why did we go into business? I will give you why I went into business. And as I tell you why I went in, I want you to come along with me on this little reflection and think about your whys. They may be exactly what my reasons are, or you may have your own. But say it out loud and be proud. All right? My first reason is that I sought freedom. I felt that God had made me like a person who could not be contained. I was very talented. I was different. And I subjected myself as long as I needed to so that I could learn whatever I had to learn. And then when it was released to me, what my true mission was, I could not stay caged. I had to get out. I was already creating businesses as I was learning from corporate, and I knew that I had to get out. So freedom is my first thing. The second reason, my second why, is the fact that I was able to understand, to ascertain that I had several skills in my hands. Circumstances caused me to learn quick. One time when I was in Guyana and I was hungry, when I didn't have food, when I didn't have money, I couldn't travel. I was able to start using the skills that I had for survival reasons. Survival has taught me many things, and you would never believe me when I say I am happy that I grew up under hard circumstances, because today I really believe that if my life had remained posh, I would never have been able to break out of the cage. I broke out. When I came to this country, I was able to break out. I started breaking out from back home because circumstances cause you sometimes. I came from a broken marriage. They did not try to fix it for us 4 girls. So we suffered. And through the suffering, I was able to find that I had skills in my hands. I had to look out for my sisters. And so it came. It broke out of its cage where it was dormant, just for survival's sake. People. That's my third why. What is it? What is it about me and people? I have no idea. Sometimes the goose pimple as we call it back in Guyana. Goose pimple rise on my arms. And I am left dumbstruck as to what it is. What has he given me that I can approach anybody? And when I tell you anybody, even to when I became a therapist and I worked in the hospitals and the staff would run. They would run and take shelter behind the nursing station. And I would stand back and I would watch what was unfolding in front of me. And I would start praying. Praying for the person who was tormented. Fear is not something good. It gives out certain chemicals, and when people are mentally ill, they feel it. They feed off of it. And when they were scampering and running away like chickens, and I understand, nobody wants to be hurt. In that arena, there are so many stories of broken ribs and punched eyes and all these different things when you're working in that particular arena. But that's where he placed me. He placed me right in the pot. Boiling water with fire burning underneath me. Yes, I am no champion. Sometimes I had to recede and close the door too. But I never ran in panic and I never showed fear. And I have seen all kinds of people. And we had group sessions where God blessed me that I started to rehabilitate these crazy people. The people who didn't want to take medications. My precious Dr. M recruited me. Leavona, can you get this one to take the medication? They wouldn't take the medication. I really don't know what became of that unit after I left. I was able to bring calm. And we're supposed to have so many of them on the floor. Let's say at any given time, 30 of them. And they wouldn't come out of their beds. And I tell you honestly, the therapists loved that because they were operating on the fear. And they would be happy when only 1 or 2 people showed up. The ones who were already recuperated and were getting ready to be discharged. They loved them because their level, whatever chemicals needed to be at a certain zone, that had already happened. They were seeing fruits of the chemicals working, and now they were getting ready to dismiss them. They love that kind of people. But your crazy girl, Leah, here, I fear nothing. I don't fear no one because I believe that I have God. And if I was put in that position, then I have to work to the best of my ability because it's now an assignment. And I am running. So I would go around every single bedroom, every door. I would open it and I would say, group time. We're about to start. Don't mess it. Don't miss it, okay? Let's go, guys. Let's go. And they all came trickling in. I might have 31 of them on the unit, and maybe 2 or 3 didn't come out their beds because they came in like raving lunatics and they had to be put out with meds. But soon after, Give them a day or two. They're in that room with me too. And I start seeing the human side of them. And we laugh and we talk and I teach them. And the doctors come and they're bringing the students who are, the doctors who are training, who just came out. And they're all standing there, stupefied. God is the power behind everything. God knows these people. He knows what has caused them to break, and he knows how to bring them back. And he chose humble old me to bring calm. People. That's the people on the heart side. And then I have the ones that make my goosebump raise because I start talking to them and they don't want me to go. They want to continue to talk. They want to laugh. It's like if we knew each other our whole lives. My bestie. Crazy stuff. I walk away sometimes and I say, God, what was that? I was working this morning. I met a customer. He didn't see me. My husband and I worked together today. And he didn't see me. And I made sure he saw me. I called him out and I said, hello there. And he heard my voice and he's trying to find me. I'm in a different car today, And he comes and we talk. And then another friend of his stopped and you could see as she was leaving, she's longing to get into the conversation. And I'm like, a couple of minutes of just goodies. Yes, people. So I hope you reflected with me. And when you reflect, because you do not have an audience, you don't have to expound, but you can expound in your heart. Today I want to drop another one because we just came out of the Thanksgiving holiday. And I think even if we might be different, all of us should always have gratitude and thanks in our hearts. That we have been called to be elites. Don't let anybody ever tell you, like I was told in my lifetime when I came to this country, go back to med school, go to med school. You've been brilliant your whole life, academically strong, and nobody encouraged me to pursue. Nobody encouraged me to pursue my business. Family can be real messed up. And I thank God that through everything, he guided me. He guided me and I soared up from the bottom of the pit of poverty and not having anything. After my father left the country, there goes my fancy lifestyle. I was not brought out the same time the rest of them were. I came out later because I was older and I had some punishing times, and I praise God for my punishing times, and I praise him that he taught me. All right? So let us always do these reflections. If you have a few minutes every day, when I get here, it is important for us to do it. In the message today, it says that it keeps you grounded. My grandmother once said something that I kept repeating my whole life. If you don't know where you came from, you can't know where you're going. Selling with integrity and honor. I think I skipped over one. All right, let's go back. The precious state of life. Life is precious, right? So let's celebrate it. And let's always think with gratitude when we get up in the morning and we realize we make it. We made it through the night. Let us never ever take anything in our life for granted. The husband, the wife, the children, the animals. Have you ever seen how those dogs watch you with love? Have you ever seen when you step outside into the world and you're walking them and somebody tries to talk to you? They wag their tail, but then they have to be a little standoffish because, their first allegiance is to mom and dad. And they keep constantly looking back at you to get your approval. Those little ones love you too. So let's cherish life too. And let's always be careful. We don't want to live like scaredy cats. But we have to be careful. We have to be careful that we don't exceed the mileage on the highways. We don't follow the Joneses. We drive carefully. We watch for the crazy ones who want to just cut off and come into your lane, because they're on the cell phone. Don't let anybody make you leave out of this place because they made a mistake on the roads. You always have to have your head, watching everything. Because your life is so precious and your family needs you. Your husband loves you and he wants to hug you tonight. He doesn't want to find out that something happened to you and you're in the hospital. So let's cherish life. It's precious. Don't forget to tell your husband you love him. Don't forget to tell your wife you love her. And don't forget to hug each other and tell the children that you love them. We're like sponges where love is concerned, and we can't get enough. And once God takes us out, our mouth can never open and utter those words again. So when we're alive, let us say it over and over and over again. Okay? Selling with integrity and honor. Here we go again. I put it a little ahead of itself. Selling with integrity. My whole program is about being integrous, being honest, and proving to the world that you may be running that way, where you're going for lies and deceit and dishonesty just to make a buck. I refuse. I would rather shut my channel down right now. Get off and never come back. I'm not lying to anybody for money. Money gotten through ill-gotten gains does not last. And this is not something, it is something that is in the Bible. Money gotten through ill-gotten gains does not last. It takes wings and it flies away, and I want no part of it. So when I say that my program has always been to work with integrity, to sell with integrity, to do everything I did integrous. That is why my businesses blew up. Because way back, 25 plus years ago, it was still happening. People were still being dishonest. I remember before I started my car wash, I used to go to this big, fancy, highfalutin car wash somewhere on a back street by the waters. While you were waiting, you could watch out to the water, and water always relaxes you. I averaged about 2 or 3 visits. I was blown away. So I kept going. But with time, I noticed that their responses to me, harsh, short, because the guy is in there and he has all these customers now, but he does not have employees. For whatever reason. I mean, he was making premium like you would not believe. But he did not have employees. Sometimes that tells you things. He's either not a good boss, he doesn't pay them well, they know how hard they work, they bunks. They weren't working with integrity, and I didn't like that. Collect all the money that you want. And I always go back and I look later. I give it a year. I give it a couple of months. And I pass back and I look. And I see that his business has begun to dwindle and shrink. I believe with all my heart that selling with integrity gives you honor. And it could make for legacy. Where you go down and you're gone, your family keeps that business and they continue to do that. One car at a time. You tell yourself you're scaling up. You know you have this premium thing. People are giving you over $125 a pop. Call in 10 guys. Have 10 guys stand by. Because you know you're going to have 10 cars come through there with your reputation. At least that's the start, right? Anyway, that's my story. And I'm sticking to it. Integrity, honor, honesty, giving more than they ask for. You surprise them by giving them more. And when they realize, wow, she didn't say she was going to do this. He didn't say he was going to do this. Man, give it to them a couple of times. You got them hooked. They ain't going nowhere else. You got them for life. And then you got to tell yourself that I'm not just working for this one customer. I'm trying to one day get his family, his daughters, his sons, his brothers. See where I'm coming with this? Honesty is hard at the start, but it pays in the end. Just be patient, you'll see. Mental health. Mental health and business. The reason why I decided to incorporate my therapy skills for mental health into my program is because I find that when we do business, it is a stressful thing if we don't know how to navigate. A lot of times when we are building, we entrepreneurs, like I said, we're elite. And some of us are so elite that we get stupid. I actually did a video for you yesterday that talked about your family and where, you started a business for them, but in the end, it's like the business was running the thing, you know what I mean? You should check that one out. But sometimes we behave silly and we push and we push and we push and we push because you want to get it done. And I understand that too, because you don't want to see the journey I came on. I perfectly understand. But I've learned so much. And I have decided that certain things have to go. Certain things have to go. If you push every day, push, you're going to get sick. And inside of the hard work also comes the problems when sometimes, like I told you, life is cyclical. It doesn't stay flowing, nice, good, great all the time. Even in your life, you notice, you go up, you come down. And so when you have this issue, you have to be able to step off the Ferris wheel, the roller coaster, and take a breather. No one can run a sprint all the time, all day long. You have to sprinters sprint and they stop. Marathons, the people who run the long marathon races, they are going at a different pace than the sprinters, but it's all programmed. It's all programmed up inside of them. And they know what they need to get to the bottom, to the end. And they know how much fuel they have to keep to do the last sprint and take it. I tried that. Failed miserably. I always ran out the gate too fast. Burn all the end. Even with the sprints, you have to know how to pace yourself, you know. Oh, life is so sweet. And you look back, you can laugh at your own self. Funny. But yes, I am so happy for all the blunders I made because it has made me very wise. And wisdom is a thing. Powerful, powerful edge. So mental health is something you have to keep your eyes on. What is mental health? What are the signs? The signs are, oh, business was not good this month. Man, what's going on? It's 2 months in a row. We were on cloud 9. What's happening? You got to go back. You got to see what you're doing wrong. Maybe you got too complacent. You got to start watching. We never coast forever. So you always have to keep reiterating, polishing, taking it up another level. And when you teach your children how to take this business later, you got to teach them that. Have you ever noticed in your house, if you do not do the dusting, dust can pile up real quick. Just see the business as something that you have to keep dusting. You got to get in all them corners and all the crevices where they can start growing cobwebs. You have to watch that you make sure that you keep polishing every facet of the business. But mental health starts on a decline when you're not seeing the growth you used to. You also have to watch what's happening in your world. Stay connected. So money is running down. It's going down low. And so what do? How do you flow again? You try everything and it's not working. So now you start to get depressed. You start to get depressed. You might take a glass of wine tonight. Next thing you know, you're taking 2 glasses of wine, 3 glasses of wine. Before you know it, you say, nah, it's not mellowing me out. Let me go take a shot. I take a shot of vodka. I take a shot of whiskey. Before you know it, you got another problem now. Not only are you depressed, but now you're turning to the bottle to get relief. Guard your health. Guard your mental health. A lot of people don't like to talk about this and they will not tell you this. But we have to have something that grounds us. And we have to make sure that we do not let mental health come into the picture. You do not treat anxiety easily. Oh, I just feel a little anxious now. Let me take another shot. Why are you anxious? What's causing you to get that anxiety? Watch everything, yes? There's so many times I go to the doctor. I guess it's because I went to medical school and stuff. And they would bring all this stuff and they want to give me a whole bunch of this and suggestions. I said, no. I can make my own decision because I know my body. I don't need that. I went in this day, this one woman told me how I must eat vegetables and eat so much portions. And I said, woman, in my mind, I didn't disrespect her. I said, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I got out of there and I just went back to my regular life. Because when you were 235 pounds and you brought yourself down to 160, you can't tell me what to do about weight gain and weight loss, lady. I'm not arrogant. I'm just sure. I'm confident. All right? So watch mental health in business. There's a correlation between when the momentum is flowing and the momentum stops. We can start getting there, a little depressed, a little slumping, a little, right? And before you know it, it's out of control. Okay. Don't sell out. Don't let your mind be lost and your health for money. Don't sacrifice your family for money. Long after we're gone, they punish and they cry and they say, why is this happening to me? Why am I so unlucky? What did my parents do? What did my grandfather do? They're generational sins. We get punished for what our grandfather and mother and them did. So don't let it come upon them, right? I spoke about that in a video too, about the grandkids, even down to the grand and great grandkids getting hit. Listen, I can't tell God how to be God. No one can tell the potter. The clay cannot tell the potter how it wants to be fashioned. So God has his rules, and we have to abide by them if we want to be blessed. And if we want to keep our faculties, I have heard stories of people 100 and something years old, fully cognitive. Oh, they must have hearts that are golden. Or maybe they're just born that way, where God blessed them to be that way. Peoples, are you still with me? Are you still there? All righty. Questions and comments? Anybody? Anybody has a question? Any comments? All right. That is something that we're going to reintroduce. We tried it at first, but because we have not developed the, there's a word for it, but it's not coming, so I'll let it be. I know with time we'll be able to do it, but tonight I just felt to put that in. Right? That you have the ability, you will be able to have questions ask questions and make comments. And, you know, it's our program. And as we are hoping that you would give your suggestions as to the build out. And I'll do with you respectfully. I'll say, like Dr. M has taught me, we'll see. Some of your suggestions I'll take, and some of them I'll have to pass. But yes, there will be a question and comment section coming along soon at some point in time. Okay. Reminder. Just want to remind you that it's Friday night. And because it's Friday night, it's like our downtime. We just look forward to the weekend. I just want to remind you guys that we do Monday through Fridays, and we come down for the weekend where we can do work in the background. There are so many things that we need to build out as we polish the program, right? So we will be here for you Monday through Friday from 8 p.m. And we have been doing better, right? Put a comment if you think we're doing better. We've been trying. I so want to. My husband is a perfectionist, and so am I. And so when I can't get out, man, I sit at the desk and I wait, I just review my stuff, and I hope I get out tonight for 8 o'clock. But sometimes things happen, but that is the time, 8 p.m. All right, Monday through Friday. And then we go down for the weekend and the 2 days. And I tell you honestly, we work. I tell you to relax because you can. It's the building phase. And so we need to work a little harder, a little longer. And then I'll be able to coast with you. And when I come down Friday night, I'll kick up my 2 heels and say, yay, So when you are building, right, just like us, the building phase always takes a little more time. And so if you're in a building phase, don't beat yourself up if you go a little longer and you want to push a little into, you might be at home and you say, let me do an hour or 2. Listen, you have to know what works for you. But it's when you're built and you're ready to go and you don't want to walk out the office, that's when we have a problem and we could get sick. But in the early stages and the building phase, we got to give more. We got to give more to get it going because we don't see ourselves sitting for another 10 years before this thing is built out. All right? So be prudent and use wisdom. Okay. I think I have covered all the bases. And I just want to encourage you to have a wonderful weekend. Oh, put some comments. Tell me what happened. All the different stuff that happened at the functions. I would love to hear you. Ours was uneventful. We hadn't seen family for so long as everybody's out hustling and striving, doing what we have to do. So it was wonderful to get back in there and have fellowship and laugh and skin and grin and not have to worry about anything. So, I'd love to hear your comments about how your day went. I just want to wish you a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy the evening. Enjoy Saturday. Enjoy Sunday. And I will hurry back to you. On Monday. All right? Be there or be square. God bless you and good night.